almost looks like it could be a miniaturized hyperbolic time chamber. We're then met with what looks like a Saiyan, this one an actual warrior. The battle between Saiyans and Toura-jins, an ultimate battle unlike any other, is about to begin. When we zoom out to see our hair. Outside of a venue, a live band can be heard playing to a roaring crowd. As the singer does his thing, the bassist, or possibly guitarist, but he definitely has the look of a bassist, notices there's something different about their frontman today. As the show continues without incident, whatever bothers him will have to wait until they're backstage. At the same time, we see that the Tournament of Power is still underway. Just now, Goku exclaims he felt it. There's still someone strong in this tournament. Returning home. Maybe in our Universe 7, maybe in another. Base questions his bandmate if he felt any different today. An utterance that surprises him. Yes, actually, something felt weird. Here he lents that his singer should be more comfortable up there. They're about to blow up. When the items on the table begin shaking after a short silence. His eyes changing and an aura enveloping him. This man is clearly no ordinary vocalist. At the tournament, Beer stutters. He really did it! That stance, that aura, that form, he's completed it. That idiot has completed Ultra Instinct. Again noting something's up with this guy, the bassist asks what happened to him just now. But what? There's nothing wrong with him. It's time to eat. Goku and Jiren's fight rages as back with our human characters, the entire ground begins to shake. It's an earthquake! But is this merely a coincidence in timing and unrelated to the tournament? Saving the young girl! The singer is now adorned in a golden aura, his hair standing on end. Looking at himself tremble. This mysterious young man has transformed into a Super Saiyan during a time of danger. He has shown mysterious powers since he was a child. Maybe even the youngest Super Saiyan on record, lives a life shrouded in mystery. His power during times of danger are almost instinctive, a natural response to the threats he faces. From his earliest memories, there have always been hints of his extraordinary abilities. Objects around him inexplicably tremble when he's angry or sad. He heals from injuries at an unnaturally fast speed. These occurrences are so woven into the fabric of his daily life that they go unnoticed, dismissed as quirks of fate, or possibly another franchise. His unique birth trait, the blonde hair, typically a hallmark of Super Saiyan transformation, is obscured by his natural features because he was born blonde. He's unaware of himself ever transforming into a Super Saiyan despite using it often in his everyday life. Unlike others of his kind, who undergo a noticeable physical change when they tap into their powers, his appearance remains constant. This continuous state leads to a life lived in blissful ignorance of his extraordinary potential. As he grows, so do his powers. He was then able to reach Super Saiyan 2. No one is aware of his abilities, not even himself. He's done it all without training. Following the shaking aftermath of the Tournament of Power that rippled through the universe, a certain god has found interest in the Saiyans. God? Dog? God? Whichever he is barks out, "Hey Karushia, I wonder if there's more Saiyans out there other than the ones Beerus has." Who responds? Saiyans? Oh, like Yamoshi. Yamoshi being the original Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God, but was only mentioned by Akira Toriyama in an interview. When we zoom out to see our pair. Here on the right, we have our Dark God of Destruction Gauro, and his devil attendant Karushia. As we speculate what a Dark God of Destruction is, he howls out a response to her statement. That's it, just like Yamoshi. I have a lot of free time nowadays to play. I wonder where I can find one like him. Karushia clicks back. If that's the case, Goro-sama, I have found an interesting person. What do you think of him? Worth noting that despite his title, Gauro is the Grand God of Destruction. They call him the God or a God or God of Destruction of Darkness because he's the most heartless destroyer. It looks like his official title is Grand God of Destruction, seeming to place him over Beerus, Champa, and the other destroyers, similar to how the Supreme Kai sits over the North, East, South, and West Kaios. But for the aforementioned reason, he simply prefers the unofficial marking of Dark God of Destruction instead. Displaying the situation we just saw with the mysterious Saiyan. The Dark God groans. He has zero fighting experience. How am I supposed to play with him? And that's the fun part. His attendant tells there isn't going to be a fight. She's going to help this person grow. But she's going to nurture him? What does she mean? Which is indeed her intent. This person is a Saiyan, or at least has their blood within him. So the Saiyans that Beerus is friends with, they've noticed the power they can tap into. There are other Saiyans that exist as well, aren't there? The canine asks. Although she knows of Goku and Vegeta's families, Gohan is the son of Goku and Pan is his granddaughter. Trunks is a son of Vegeta, but his blood is weak. Looks like Goten just got forgotten again. A weak blood? What does that mean? Karushia expands upon this. Long before Goku's era, a mixed race of Earthlings and Saiyans existed. However, because the blood of the Saiyans has thinned out over the years and has almost faded away, the presence and aura of the Saiyans can't be felt. So what she's saying is, this singer guy is the distant descendant of a Saiyan from long ago. His Saiyan blood is so diluted, he doesn't at first appear to have any Saiyan DNA at all. The power he shows is likely only a freak occurrence with a very, very small chance of appearing in such removed familial successors. Goro pants that he didn't notice this person's existence until now. But is he really worth his time? And he certainly is, though he's not a big deal at the moment. It's short-sighted to look at him for what he is now. For example, going over the legend and the history of the Saiyans and Earthlings alike, a strong warrior could be born from an Earthling with Saiyan blood. Does that not get the god excited? Now confirming this is a mostly human from planet Earth, which places him in either Universe 6 or 7. The dog has to question if it's a warrior that exceeds the legends. Does he really have that kind of power within his body? Though she's not convinced he can grow into that kind of warrior. She is, however, that a Saiyan blood alone has its own potential which presents them with great possibilities. Above all, he shouldn't get lost in her words. All legends start from somewhere. The devil smirks as she thinks it would be interesting if that person was of the same bloodline as Yamoshi himself. A statement that perks the god's ears. I see, he begins. That's kind of potential. If he is from that bloodline, it'd certainly be worth my spare time. You can set up the meeting and see to all the details. I wonder how he will grow, and will he be able to play with Beerus' toys? Just like that, Gauro reveals the game plan. They're going to capture this mutt and train him with the purebreds. While this distant hybrid may be ignorant of his own power. The show we just put on sings another tune. Even in the Japanese text, she seems to call the singer Big Brother as she gazes at him dumbfounded. Returning to normal, he comes back to his senses and inquires if she was hurt. But nah, she's fine thanks to him, thanking him for his help as he reminds her to be careful on her way home. When the bassist's heart audibly thuds like a drum, quickly picking up the pace. Shaking, outright terrified of something, his bandmate checks to see what's wrong with him. Leaving his friend to whatever fate he was trying to escape, we see what's gotten him so riled up. The God and Devil make their appearance in an otherwise normal world. The sight of such a creature would send any sound-minded person Wait, isn't the king a dog? Knocking the man out. They must have figured it would be easier to wrangle him up first and explain in a place he can't make such a scene. Barking over to Crucia, Gauro has a sudden thought that she's his attendant. Shouldn't she be the one carrying him? However, she doesn't like doing things like that. After all, she's a woman. Why would she do the heavy lifting? Heading back to the Destroyer's world. The duo watch the man, wondering how long he's been asleep. Perhaps they hit him a little too hard. He howls for him to get up already! Wake up! Coming to in a panic, the singer questions where he is. Gauro proclaims that he is the Dark God of Destruction, and this is his temple. But Dark God of Destruction? Temple? What is he talking about? He furthers that the boy should rejoice. You are a toy to rid me of my boredom. Causing his guest to scream out that he must be going insane. He doesn't care if he is the Dark God of Destruction or Death or whatever. He's not some toy and he's going home right now. To which Crucia corrects, Shinigami. And if my anime memory serves right, that means God of Death like that smiley fellow from Death Note. She inquires if he's ever seen a Shinigami before. Either way, the Destroyer likes his way of thinking. He wants to know his name. Giving us a segue to stop calling him Singer, as we learned his name is Zen. A pun on Zen Kiba, which is a small Japanese food table. The god utters, I think it will take some time to nurture and train you from scratch. But first show me the power you have in your current state. But Zen doesn't even know what he's asking of him. How does he show him his power? Does he want him to sing here? And no, that's not what he meant at all. He doesn't have to sing. In fact, he'd prefer if he didn't. Being the more logical being, his attendant points out that it's impossible for him to do this. Zen here doesn't know how to control his mind to release his strength. He isn't even aware of it himself. She instructs him to please stand up. She's going to force his true power out. And although he still doesn't understand, he complies and asks if this is okay. With a flick of the wand, upon seeing his new plaything spring all the way to Super Saiyan 2, the Destroyer excitedly chortles that he's certainly an interesting person, though it's still not enough. He does have great potential, so he's going to help him draw it out. But what's this he's materialized in his hand? Getting up close, it almost looks like it could be a miniaturized hyperbolic time chamber. He commands Crucia to send Zen here. Before doing so, she must point out that even though he is a Super Saiyan, his blood is extremely diluted with Earthling blood. If his power doesn't surpass the evil spirit, she can't help but think he'll be overcome by it. But is this a real evil spirit, or just a metaphorical one? This warning aside, her master wants to do it regardless for his own good. Honestly, he's jealous that Zen gets to fight with an evil spirit and not him. But wait, the trainee beckons. What? I'm not an Earthling? Not giving him an answer, he appears on the stage within the glass container. He ironically tries to figure out where on Earth he is. Another shares the stage with him. We're then met with what looks like a Saiyan. This one an actual warrior. Although his tail carries a differing pattern from the Saiyans we've seen, and more resembles a tiger's than a monkey's. He wears lower armor similar to that of Sadala's forces like we saw in Kappa. The biggest difference being his is silver instead of purple and appears to be made out of a different material. Lastly, he has a couple scars framing each of his cheeks and has piercings in his ears. There's no way of knowing if this jewelry is cosmetic or contains mysticism like the Pataras. They may also be used to symbolize position like with Beerus. The two meet eyes and Zen solicits. What is happening to me? Who are you? Setting his eyes forward, the man informs that he is the gatekeeper Toru. He oversees the sinners that arrive to this world. Sinners? Gatekeeper? Is this place like a prison? Yes, exactly. The boy can rest assured he has no intentions of capturing him. He elaborates. This is a prison, but the flow of time here is different and cut off from the 12 universes. This is your chance to take advantage of that because Goro-sama has asked me to train you. You seem to have Saiyan blood, though no grudge will be held against you here. I am from the fighting race of Toura-jin. We are normally paired with Saiyajin. And just to break the fourth wall for a moment, so we're not doing this early internet, convention, VHS fandub stuff with a Saiyajin and whatnot, we're just gonna break down Toura-jin to simply Torin. He continues after being so rudely interrupted. A long time ago, another fighting race, the Saiyans, frequently visited my home to fight and reproduce just for the thrill of it. My race, the Taurans, were also a fighting race, but a race that fought to protect our loved ones and defend our home. You have the power to draw out the blood of the Saiyans. My role in this world is to purify people who have strong evil spirits within them. Power does not make one evil, but if the evil within one's heart is manipulated through the mind, all hope is lost. In other words, Toru doesn't want Zen to go mad with power upon being influenced by a Saiyan nature. Following this explanation, his visitor merely gazes back at him amiss. Why do you look at me like that, Saiyan? Toru gesticulates with his own eyes. Instead of meaningless battle and bloodshed, use your power to create a peaceful world and protect the weak and innocent from danger. I do wonder what your mission is since you were sent here. Breaking the boy out of his stupor, stammering, "Oh, so I was selected to make a peaceful world as a Saiyan. In that case, I'll do what I can." So in Zen's case, very much like the Tauran people. Like Gauro said, long ago Saiyans came to Earth with similar intentions. While the warriors on our planet may not have been up to par, populating their species for the Saiyans wasn't an issue. Our focal character is almost certainly a descendant from these Saiyans from whatever time period this happened in. We can also make out that Toru and his people hold at least a small grudge against the Saiyans for their barbaric past. Though, Zen diverges, I also have something I want to protect. So can I sing for peace? But a song will not bring peace. The gatekeeper would like to start by teaching him something. A special ability that he was born with as a child. That same ability is what's going to aid him in the future. A warrior race changes from evolution to evolution. However, in Zen's case, he can take advantage of that by temporarily transforming as an escape. Though, it is possible for him to change into these forms and manipulate them easily. There are limits to the time you can stay in them. In his own case, Toru reveals that he has evolved time and time again and raised his strength as high as he could, though now he's reached the point where he cannot change back. Zen may end up like himself. Well, we'll leave the Tauran's words up to interpretation for now. Zen doesn't understand, but he'll do it. He wants to go back home as soon as possible. Toru offers the next step in working towards that goal. First of all, by defeating a person with a much stronger spirit than you can strengthen your own spirit. Although it's not the sort of fight you can have with your fists. It's training the mind that brings out the power within the body, which is where you'll fight this evil spirit. It is not a dream. A real evil spirit will come to you from another dimension, and they will come with the intent to kill you. Overcome it and become stronger than the evil within that person's heart. The person who you will fight is here, and his spirit is contained here. From here on out, you will close your eyes and enter the parallel world. I will sync my mind to yours so I can watch over you. The Saiyan doesn't have much to retort with. The last several minutes have been quite overwhelming. Nonetheless, he silently takes a seat and does as he's instructed to. Just as he said, he's taken to a dreamlike realm as a sinister figure appears before him. This one has clothing almost similar to that of a Kaio or Kaioshin, presumably white hair, then darkened eyes with pointed ears that hold the same earrings Toru possesses. Two of which communicates with him to act as a guide as promised. Zen, that is the prisoner Sadus. The world you are looking at is not a dream or fantasy. If you lose, you will die there and never be able to return to the real world. You have no choice but to defeat Sadus. But defeat him? How does one defeat an evil spirit? the fight quickly escalates. Having no previous battle experience, the boy can't place this feeling. His senses feel sharper. His body is starting to react on its own and avoid the attacks. Continuing his inner monologue. It's true. I can feel my Saiyan blood boiling. This must be Saiyan instinct. Perhaps all of this was worth it after all. The Fiend reaches out and places some kind of spell or force onto our protagonist, rendering him unable to move his body. Letting out a chuckle and looking very Zamasu. Upon conjuring a crystal ball, we're met with Bassist. The creature is able to control the goings-on of the outside world and directs a car into Tama's path. Persisting with his torment, Zen pleads with him to stop. Now targeting his other friend Ryo. With his hands up, he finds himself in the middle of a robbery situation. A criminal loads his weapon, exclaiming, "Good, I got all the money!" Outside, Krillin takes cover behind a car which confirms Zen is from our planet Earth in Universe 7. Calling out for his friend who's right in the maniac's line of fire. Zen screams for him to stop it already! But perhaps seeing the most daunting sight of all. The little girl he saved earlier who called him brother. Although she doesn't appear to be in any immediate danger. He can't stop the tears from overflowing as he continues his pleas for him to stop this. Unlocking the next form of his evolution, Zen has many of the features of a Super Saiyan 3, but with a couple exceptions. His brow hasn't changed and his hair isn't yellow, but red, I think. Is this indicative of God Ki or something else altogether? Whatever it is, it causes the evil guy to stammer and gawk in his presence. Toro announces that Zen has been given the blood of the Saiyan, and with it, he is the Toura-jins' last hope. He has been frustrated for many years with the battle between Saiyans and Toura-jins. He wants him to be the bridge that finally connects them for peace. Back on the Destroyer's world. We're actually met with a sleeping Zen, meaning we've got a little Inception action going on here. Goro growls if it's really a good idea to be using the evil spirits. Not fully confident, Karishia stumbles. Yeah, he is a lot stronger than I imagined. He will be a better toy for you than anything you can get out of a shop. Besides, we still don't know how far he can really be pushed. That spirit is evil itself, manifested from the evil within his heart. It's a bit cruel to put innocent people through this, but it also gives us information at the same time. The Destroyer responds, "With that kind of thing, his only solution is to defeat it then. It seems if he dies there, he dies in the real world too." Yes, his attendant confirms. In addition, Zen will absorb the spirit's abilities and make them his own once it's defeated. So not only are the aforementioned requirements true, but once Zen wakes up, he'll be able to fully use that red hair transformation at will. Meaning this evil spirit is likely the cause of the differing look as opposed to Super Saiyan 3, and the form is a preview of it projecting his powers onto the Saiyan. The Devil Girl chuckles. Yes, red hair and all. She never ceases to amaze her master, a compliment she confidently owns. Diverting a bit, Gauro apparently has taken a liking to what Zen called him earlier, commenting, "Oh, that's right. I've been thinking about my title. Karushia, attendant to the Shinigami. Doesn't sound like a bad name, does it?" Though the demonetization demon scoffs that he makes things so complicated. Waking him up but keeping him captured within the crystal ball. He bellows for him to let him out. as Zen disappears from the pocket dimension. Toru figures Gauro pulled him out of this world for one reason or another. Now with the trio in full attendance, the Destroyer would like his attendant to take them to Beerus' place. He wants to go say hello. But before they do that, they ought to give him an outfit that's suitable to fight in. Yes, that's a good idea, the dog yips. After that, let's do something about his hair. It looks like he's always a Super Saiyan. The devil agrees. She will keep his hairstyle as is, but make it more noticeable by giving him black hair. Now that he'll be formally dressed for battle, it gives them a good reason to visit Beerus, to welcome an apprentice of the Dark God of Destruction. Adorning a new look to symbolize a new leg of his journey. Gauro loves it. Although this is strictly cosmically speaking, this is the new God of Destruction he wanted, isn't it? That's right, he wants to go to Beerus' place now, asking his new toy if he's ready. For whatever comes, he is. On said world. The sudden arrival is enough to launch the cat out of his seat. The dog chortles that it's been a long time. Is he going to wet himself? No, don't say that. It's because you came in out of nowhere and suddenly caught me by surprise. Beerus cool and collectedly responds. Declaring the reason for his arrival, Gauro would like to have a competition between Beerus' old toys and his new toy. Whispering to Whis, our God of Destruction mutters that if he wins, his condition will be that he can't tell anyone about that one thing. The angel inquires if he means that one time Beerus peed himself after being scolded by Gauro. Prompting him to nonchalantly request the gentleman not say that aloud. That was 600 years ago. That will never happen again. It was just a really bad day was all. Moving forward, the dog speaks. I accept, but if you lose, then I can tell people as I wish. Where are your competitors? In response, all right, but Goku and Vegeta usually come here to train in the evening. I doubt you have anyone that can beat them. Where is your competitor? Gesturing behind him, he's right in front of Beerus. His name is Zen. Catching his colleague's curiosity, he muses that this has to be some kind of joke. Even as a God of Destruction of Darkness, he doesn't understand the true power of Goku and Vegeta. So who will he choose to fight this evening? Which one of them? With quite the rough task, Gauro claims that Zen will fight both of them at the same time, only causing further intrigue. He seems to be quite confident. How much fighting experience does he have? And none actually, but that doesn't matter. Kurishia and himself have drawn out his maximum potential from within him. The feline has to mention that he can't feel any of Zen's energy at all. Is he really that strong? Continuing, I don't know much about you, but I doubt you'll do any good with such little energy like that. Boop. Apparently gaining a few lifetimes of confidence from his short time off Earth, it would seem Zen has taken heritage from not only the Saiyan race, but the Toura-jins too, given the tiger. And whether genuinely taken aback by Zen or merely playing along to appease Gauro, Beerus is amiss. Inquiring just where these Goku and Vegeta guys are now. Whis details how both of them are on planet Earth, so they'll be going there. The dog god doesn't want to waste any time and get going right now. The angel informs it'll take at least 20 minutes to get from here to their planet. Kurishia instructs everyone to please place a hand on her, but don't go touching in inappropriate places. When we're taken to the final scene shown in the Dragon Ball Super series. Before our hero spark can begin, they're interrupted by the powers that be. Vegeta turns up to the Destroyer and remarks that he hopes he hasn't come to start trouble. Adding to this, Goku asks who they are. He's dressed like Beerus. Is he a God of Destruction like him? When the aforementioned god chimes in himself to elaborate that he is the Dark God of Destruction, Gauro. As we speculated before, he stands above all Destroyers. So, who is that behind Whis? Introducing the new guy, Beerus smirks that it seems Zen here wants to fight the two of them. Bringing all the excitement to Goku. So we brought him here to fight with him? Is he strong? Yes, gruffs Gauro. He's very strong, so fight him! Less excited, Vegeta scoffs that he doesn't look like he's worth much to him at all. Whose best bud hollers out to him that if he is strong, that's great. He's excited to fight him. Kakarot! Vegeta chastises. You await your turn! You told me in the next battle I'd go first! Who actually goes along with it. Powering down, he understands. But wants him to promise he'll switch with him later. Something quickly agreed upon. Another person on Earth with a small amount of Saiyan blood. His power has been drawn out by the Dark God of Destruction Gauro. But will it be enough? The battle between Saiyans and Toura-jins, which was fought in ancient times, has been rekindled with new fire. An ultimate battle unlike any other is about to begin.